Hey there, team, and welcome to Austin Hill. I think what's this place we usually call it? Yeah, I think it was something along those lines. Anyway, we've got a 5v3 here, seen from the attacking side by Y2K. So he's got his Misty forces here today. It doesn't look like it's a lower focused one, but that's totally fine. We've got the warg skirms there, some gobble infantry, of course, without an armor upgrade. But yeah, so just take it nice and cheap. Snow trolls, cave trolls, another unit of cave trolls over there is good. Berserkers, lots and lots of snagga skirms, of course, because yeah, you know that's what you're gonna get. Gobble archers, okay. I'll see if we've got gobble crossbows. Heavy goblin spears, goblin infantry, blackback berserkers, of course. More skirms, and that mangonel. It's kind of interesting, we don't have crossbows, we've gone for the archers instead. But by the initial looks, that's Imladris there, I think, or Arthedain. We'll see if that's a good choice or a bad choice, going for the archers instead of the crossbows. Crossbows, of course, are a bit more expensive, but I'd rather go for, say, a unit of crossbows and then a unit of the standard goblin archers rather than two heavy goblin archers. But we'll see. We've got Mark here as Rhudaur. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, so I thought maybe that was Rhudaur's colour, but no, that's something else. We'll see. So we got Rhudaur clansmen, of course. With that armour upgrade, they're still very fragile. That armour is still very low value, even with the armour upgrade, but at least it gives them some resistance, especially with that shield value. If they're standing right in the face of arrow fire, they're going to be able to shrug that off quite well. More Rhudaur clansmen in the back. Nothing looks like. Let's. Now there will be shuffling. There will be a bit of a grace, but let's at least go through the attacking forces first, and then I'll go to 0.5 speed or something. 8 more troll hunters, dumb and spears. A big blob here just to keep them nice and safe. Hard to really see what's in there, but I'm seeing the witch realm and slavers. Thank goodness I'm seeing my my Rhudaur swordsmen finally. Been hunting for them for a bit. Rhudaur clansmen, and of course the Dunman pikes. Dunman pikes are just so cost effective, super duper cheap pikes, but I mean, well, as long as you don't get them shot at, they are just so fragile to any sort of arrow fire. Very little armor. And then we've got Lothlorien here by Joris. Joris popping up again. So you've got the the Watchers of the Golden Wood. Lorinad archers, Lorinad spears. The axemen, those one axe, one shield boys. The Lorinad swordmasters, no Lorinad warriors, none of the two-handed axe variant, which again, it looks like the boys are not really taking much AP, so that's making me think the defending factions are not really heavy on the armor. Staffmasters, nice. Okay, staffmasters are AP, but again, very low attack value. Kind of think Barrow-wights without the HP and the armor. Is very good at holding the line, very good defensively. And then some Blades of the Wood without the armor upgrade, I guess, just to spend a little bit more money and give them a little bit of militia to throw at the front lines. Then over here we got the Ulakai by Mark of the Night playing as Mordor. Continuing on, Minas Morgul's Chosen, yeah, good shout. Temple Guard, of course, and the Nazgul, which I think, yeah, Nazgul is definitely a good idea. You don't want to take too many Nazgul if you got like multiple Mordors, but one unit is definitely solid. The Uruk Captains there and the Shadow Bows, Temple Executioners and Sarons as well. So quite an elite army, really, by Mark. There might be something hidden here and there, but yeah, let me definitely go to 0.4 because we will be having some sort of grace. And lastly, Rhun. So we got the Narem clansmen, fully armored up clansmen. Flag Rim, lots of Scion Rim here. Okay, lots more clansmen. So one unit clansman lucky enough to receive some armor. The other two totally without armor. Oh, dude, it would have been really cool if we had Torrent's side of this. I'd love to see what ends up happening with the amount of kills these guys get. Totally depends how they get used. These guys with the armor upgrade might end up getting very few kills because they're used much more to soak up damage. That could be the case. But yeah, crossbows, Shadow Guard, Shadow Guard, Shadow Bows, and the Camels Chosen. So yeah, pretty standard. I like this army from Torrent a lot. He's brought these crossbowmen. So alright, so either he wants that AP or he is needing that little extra damage. First defender is Harad. Okay, yep. So this makes the archers make a bit more sense. South Throne archers, Hashari. Anything absolutely wild. I'm looking for the demons. Yep, of course, yeah, we'd need the demons for this. Southron pikes, lots and lots of trolls, Hashari shadows, and Hashari stalkers. So again, like same as Arthedain, you can take 2 body piercing archer units as Harad without going into the red limit, which really helps you out in these sorts of siege scenarios. So that's you know, he's been able to use his money much more effectively than if he had just bought 2 of the Hashari stalkers. But yeah, that's dope. Quite like that army from JKL. Yeah, that's going to be... And then the Demons, the Desert, of course, body piercing as well. That's going to be very bloody. Cardolan here by 1010. So they're going to be packing up the armor. I think... Did 1010 play... No, 1010 played Mirkwood the last time I saw him. I thought he played Cardolan, but no, I was distracted by the green. He's got the Hearthguard of Amon Sul, I love them. And then non-armor upgraded Gatekeepers. Very interesting. I find you very rarely actually see the Gatekeepers without that big beefy plate on the front of them because of the armor upgrade. Then Warhammers, Tharbad Warhammer. So let's go to 0.6. I think we'll probably be okay. Actually, 1. Let's go to 1. Dunedain Rangers. I'll watch the mini map. Greenway Garrison Footmen, again, you know, I absolutely adore, and a bit of armor on them, you know, like, so as far as like sort of these cheap pikemen go, they can shrug off a little bit of ranged fire as long as it's not coming from a really heavy source. And then Menheriath archers, okay, cool. And then oh, what's these guys? Oh, and then the Dunedain captains without an armor upgrade again. It looks like 1010, but I mean, generally, he's gone for quite an expensive army across the board. Just a lot of Menheriath forces, Wardens of Tyr and Gorthad too. So it makes sense that he's not really had any money left over to pack on the armor to various units. So no. Oh, got lots of Greenway Garrison archers too. So wow, he is with his Menheriath archers as well. He's gone very ranged heavy, which is what you'd expect from a siege defense. But I do worry that maybe he's going to be lacking in the infantry. He's going to have to use his elites very early on if he wants to start like actually holding that line to give him time to use his ranged. Then we've got Duran playing as Numenor. I'm definitely going to go through this. I've got a suspicion that I've done this fight from somebody else's perspective. I'm pretty sure I have, but I'll go through it. I've started, so I'll finish and all that. So, but yeah, awfully sorry if you have. I'm pretty sure I've done this one before, but oh well, you know, we'll get through it. And if nothing else, we get another perspectives kill feed from it. This is the problem when you record these things. I think if I've done this one, it was one of the ones I did it in Christmas time. So this was many months ago. So I've pretty much forgotten what happens, I think. And the last time I did this, I was very distracted by Basil. I remember there was a good portion of the fight where I was holding Basil and I was just trying to point out what was going on as best I could. By the way, so we got these Numenorians. Again, I would have maybe liked to see something with more numbers, like more melee numbers just to hold the line while you know, for the likes of Cardolan to do that damage, and also the Haradrim to send out all of their body piercing. But I mean, Duran's gone for some decent numbers there, and we know that the Numenorians are going to be able to hold the line for a very decent amount of time. And yep, as I said before, the Trebuchet is going to be hopefully able to do some really good work. We'll just have to see. So we will go into 2 times speed. As people are shuffling around, the grace is going on. We are, 1010 coming up from his deployment zone outside. Mark letting his, Mark getting quite close. I always like to just, you know, there's no rush, you know. I'm usually a little bit slower during the grace, give people a bit more space, a bit more time to breathe, but there's no reason, you know. Yeah, it looks like he's stopping there and organising. So all those archers are going to be very nasty for Mark. That is clear, and these pikes are going to be tough for him to get through. It looks like, yeah, Cardolan is going to be defending here. How many entrances do we have there? We've got 1, not 2, 2 over here, and then 3 over here. So it's a 3 defenders, 3 positions to hold. So we can be pretty sure each side is just going to be getting 1 for now. And as for attacking sides, it looks like Harad is going to be coming in just pretty hard. Oh, no, this isn't Harad. This is Misty by Y2K. Looks like Misty's going to be coming in this side, just with everything he's got. He's alone over here, though. Whereas this southern attack, I think, is going to have 2 players. We've got Rhudaur and the Lothlorien forces. So this is going to be a 2-player attack. And then over here, we just have Mordor. Well, no, sorry, we've got Mordor and Rhun. So yeah, something as well about the Mordor army. Because we've gone pretty damn elite, Mordor is one of these forces that can bring a heck of a lot of troops. And a heck of a lot of, like, decent troops. Not great, but, you know, at least decent. So that tends to be the way that I like to play Mordor. I like to sort of pack on the numbers a little bit. You know, get a lot of that Morin on. But you can play, you know, Mordor as this really quite elite faction if you want, because they have got lots of elites, and their elites are really, really quite good. Those Dark Numenorians, these very spiritual or very wispy Nazgul, and so on. You can, and just those nasty bodyguard Uruks too. The Uruk bodyguard are AP. Yeah, no, I'm pretty damn sure they're AP, because they used to be when they were the bulldogs of I almost said bulldogs of Durthang, but I'm getting mixed up with Silmarillion, of course. But no, the bulldog, what would they call? Gothmogs bulldogs? Yeah, something like that. I think it's Gothmog. I think that's the name of the general that we see coming in to attack Minas Tirith. Nope, still just staring down. So Misty against Harad is a very interesting little confrontation, because Harad's got a heck of a lot of AP. Harad's got quite a decent numbers, and Misty, I find Misty really relies on their armor for their cost. Misty actually wears some decent armor, you know, of course, like inhabiting Moria, you learn things from all those dead dwarves. You've got a lot of resources, you've got a lot of armor to melt down from those dead dwarves. And even though, of course, you're not going to be able to make it anywhere near as good as those dwarves used to have, but it's at least they've got some pretty nice ramshackle armor for their costs, as I say. So not much in the way of defensive ability to go along with that. So the armor is really what is keeping them safe, but Harad is going to be able to just stab and thrust and break right through that armor. Looks like, yeah, the Orokai coming up here. I'm going to be interested to see if anybody from this side sends something over to back up Misty. Usually I would like to do that unless we've coordinated and spoken about it beforehand, because some people, like, I like to be by myself. I quite like to be... Okay, oh, sorry, we have started. We have begun. The Hashari have marched down to engage these goblin infantry, throwing some of their little daggers. If the Hashari are able to just engage with this, they will do a very, very nice job. Looks like Y2K is wanting to use a Snaga, unleashing their javelins against this. I can see the sense in that, for sure. Like, you'll kill these guys very, very fast with the javelins, and that is, at the end of the day, that is just, yeah, like a unit of Hashari, maybe not even use their full amount of knives, but even if you use up all of those javelins just to delete that unit of Hashari, I can see the sense in that, and you know, I would probably do the same. What you'd want is a nice axe, a nice throwing axe to go against them, or if he had his archers ready to go. Yeah, I'm sure Y2K would have loved to have his archers right here, because that would have been absolutely brutal. So I think he's made the right choice. If he knew that he was wanting to go toe-to-toe with Harad, then he's made the right choice by taking those archers instead of the crossbowmen. Because those archers are a bit cheaper, pretty sure. And of course they're archers, so they've got better range to them. Yeah, so it's not so bad. The more troll hunters sending out their javelins here up against their kin from Cardolan, going right into the face of these Minhariath spears. It sucks that, you know, for 10-10 here, but at the same time, it's like, if somebody's going to soak up this damage, like, that's that full unit of Ettamore Troll Hunters used. And that's all they've really been able to achieve with it. A few of these pikes dead here, but that's all they've been able to achieve with a full amount of ammunition. He needs to stop spending ammunition on them now. But, because they will shrug this damage off if they're facing it. That's one of the nice things about them, because they've got that shield value even while they're throwing their javelins. They've got that armour and that shield value. So they can really soak up the hits, and you can put them in these nasty situations. That's crossbow fire too. Must be. No, that's just Greenway Garrison. No way is that just Greenway Garrison archers. Wow, they inflicted a... I mean, I guess they're... You know, he got a lot of times where some of them were facing backwards and stuff, but still, I really would have thought they would have shrugged off that damage a lot better. So, as nasty as this looks for Tintin, that was a full, you know, that was a full javelin volley, you know, or a full javelin amount from the Immortal Hunters. And that's all the damage he was able to do. So, it sucks, and it's something that I really struggle with, just sitting there and letting the enemy use their javelins on me. Yeah, okay, so the Belgar footmen are engaging the clansmen here, poking and prodding away at them. Narim being chased off. He's sort of, yeah, because he's done something a bit interesting here. Oh, we've got, jeepers, we've got JKL. Okay, this is a good idea from JKL, yeah, sending a few bits and bobs over here, because his Numenorian allies are fighting a 2v1, whereas he's just fighting a 1v1 over there, so it's important to keep an eye on that, send some stuff over here and there, and I like this, oh, I like that matchup as well for the Hishari. That's a really nice matchup for the Hishari. You know, these big Saurons, well, I mean, the Saurons will probably win that, again, because they're outnumbering them, and they are a very effective unit, but this is not who the Saurons will want to be fighting. They do not want to be trying to slam into the likes of the Hishari. These very sort of skilled two blades coming at you. One of the blades sort of floating in the air. Oh, they're even gone into guard mode, trying to use up that those throwing daggers. That will actually turn the fight in their favour for sure. A little bit of friendly fire coming down from the top level, but well, that's not too bad. It's just a few Hishari going down. Hishari they're not incredibly cheap, but they're not expensive. I'm always quite surprised at the price of Hishari. And I think they really, you know, whoa, why are the demons exposed right now? Maybe he's... I mean, you're okay to lose a few of the demons, but you really, for me, I really want to use the demons in melee after as well. So yeah, they're getting out there. I think he saw there was maybe a push coming. He saw Y2K was really gathering for something, and he was like, nope, no, you don't do that. We're not ready for you to push yet. So he's buckled that. But now that Y2K is, well, Y2K was always aware that the demons were there, he can't come forward in the way that Misty likes. Misty likes to just barrel in and just use it's the full weight of their numbers just to overwhelm whatever defense is in front of them, and he can't do that. Now these troll shaws coming forward, now these, ooh, the likes of those Greenway Garrison archers would love to hit those troll shaws. I would absolutely be going for that now, because yeah, I mean, these troll shaws, they're very, very fragile. Yep, they're opening fire now, and so you'll get some great kills against them. You'll lower their DPS, but also markedly they've got some decent attack values. Yeah, sure, you're not wanting to use them for just a general. Right, okay. So he is getting through. Yeah, Tintin's going to want to get these pikes back. If those axes are being thrown right into the face of Menheriath spearmen, that's amazing for Tintin. He'll be more than happy to take like all these. That's, I mean, still is a lot of damage, but it's okay. But it's the axes that are getting through and hitting the Greenway Garrison footmen. That is horrific. But in response to that, the Trollshaw axe throwers are dying pretty quick to that arrow fire. I'd be going from both sides here because this is just such a juicy target for a lower damage arrow like the Greenway Garrison archers. I'm surprised at the fact that they're sort of not dying a little bit faster, in all honesty. Because yeah, that's a half decent unit to be throwing into melee later on. Yeah, so those footmen have been pulled back so that they're not going to be taking that axe fire anymore. Over here, just Fires and Swordmaster, just kept somewhere safe. We don't want anything bad to happen to them. Seafarers, oh, very good. Yeah, this is nice, and it's into the left side, but I would take this for sure. Looks like Mark the Knight has spotted it. No, he's not yet. What are we going for? We got free reign. Looks like, yeah, we're going for the Flag Rim. Gamp Rim would be my target. And the hope is just that we've gotten ourselves a target good stuff. The hope is you've gotten yourself a target that even these guys in the back are not throwing into the ground. If we targeted the likes of these Gamp Brim, the first 2 rows would throw down, but everybody behind them would just be just sinking their javelins straight into the dirt, which is painful, absolutely painful to see. We'll go to 1 times speed here, because it looks like the rather skilled men of Rhun, or well, in this way it's just these armoured up clansmen, looking a little bit sort of more impressive than they really are. They are still just a militia unit, but giving them that armour upgrade, it allows them to best other militia forces. Sort of lifts them almost up into that lower mid tier. So the likes of the Belgar footmen, who I praise all the time as being this sort of like great lower quality unit. Great lower quality, but you get what I mean. I'm talking like great militia are going to have a lot of trouble up against these strong clansmen. But of course they're backed up by the Numenorian cohort, who they do not care how shiny your gold is. You're going to get gutted by these powerful Numenorian swordsmen, and as they're sort of slicing them down, they'll suffer a loss or two for sure, as is always going to happen. But that's quite a nice engagement for the Numenorian cohort. Snag of skirms there, getting their javelins into the dismounted Serpent Guard or the Southron Pikes. Very nice targets. JKL having come down to deal with them. Because the demons are there, Y2K can't come forward in this aggressive assault that he was maybe wanting to. He's got to just use his skirmish bar. He's got to use his archers. He's got to use his javelins. And this is very much like it's kind of like it's sneaky, but it's like this is how I tend to fight with the likes of Rhudaur. You just send my javelins forward, try and find a nice target. If you chase me down, I'll run away. And that's sort of what he's doing here. And you just got to make sure that the Snag of Skirms don't end up running or something like that. Gobo archers, we're opening fire a little bit. JKL's got his guys formed up now, but the thing is, I'd maybe be tempted to even unleash my jabs on that. Yeah, which is what he's doing. Because these Serpent's Fangs, Serpent Guard, they're really quite important. They're something that JKL is really going to need later on in the fight. And you're seeing just how skilled they sort of. I know that's a snagger, but the fact that you can kind of just reliably kill a snagger in 1 hit, that's quite good. That's something that a lot of men at arms cannot do. But no, those Serpent's Guard are really quite. Quite elegant, quite skilled. More javelins coming into Cardolan. It's painful, but let me just grab my tea. It is painful, but at the same time, if anybody on this battlefield was going to be doing this, was going to be taking these sorts of hits, Cardolan is kind of the boy for it. You're seeing that. Those Woodland Protectors, very unpleasant. That is a nice elven crafted javelin there, just blitzing through them. So yeah, very, very unpleasant. But again, that's another unit of jabs almost used up. Can't have too much more to give, but it's just gonna leave Tintin's line so fragile. And the problem is Tintin's line is going to be made up of the Greenway Garrison footmen, which again is not bad, but that's going to mean that there's nothing guarding them against the arrow fire that's going to be coming their way. So we've spread them out. Maybe, actually, I didn't think to do that. Maybe that should have been what we did right from the start, actually. No, I didn't think of it either, to be honest. So Serpent's Guard launching themselves down. I mean, from JKL, this is maybe the best course of action here. Just at least let your guys get some use. But right now, JKL is just gonna have to try. He's trying to find a way to just make the goblins use up their ammunition. That's the goal here. But Serpent Guard hacking and slashing away. And this is a nice move from Y2K. He either just push up and see what you can engage, but definitely get around behind, see if we can cause a break here, just deal with these Serpent's Guard very quickly. This is not a standard siege, this is a cityscape, so when these guys rout, they're not going to rout backward. We do not have a clue where they're going to try and rout. So we see them rout, they're gone, for sure. So that was nice, and also that AP from the Serpent's Guard, no, that AP from the spearmen, the heavy goblin spears, is going to absolutely toast the Serpent's Guard. Oh dear, I would have thought the Numenorean Shield Guard would be doing better in that engagement than they are. AP versus AP, so they are suffering from that spear malice, but they're still Numenorians, so I would have thought they would be handling themselves a lot better up against those flag ram. But okay, so this is why we don't really have anything set up there. We want to get some jabs in, but that shield is still coming into play for the flag ram. But now that Duran's got this opened up unit here, he can send them in for a quick charge. Those Seafarers and Endamos are pretty impressive in melee, so I would be tempted to just get a bit of a rushing charge and see if we can maybe get a break against them there. Got firepower coming in now. This really is this golden and black mix. That's quite a nice match there. Steel bows opening up, seeing that this is a bit of a thrust. The Blackguard of Barad-dûr are here with their 6 mass. Pretty impressive, you know. Of course, they can barrel through a lot with their heavy numbers. Even though individually, man on man, you know, they're not the biggest mass you're gonna get. The size of their unit still makes them very impressive for just bursting through lines. So the Numenorean cohort and even the Royal Legion of Armenelos have come in just to back that up. Seafarers and Endamos have coming in here. So it is chaotic, and it's going to be quite good for the attackers because this is arguably quite a fair fight for them. But what the defenders are really relying on here is just the quality of the defending Numenorians and what that's going to be able to do for them. But the Temple Guard are something that's going to need a good answer. I mean, the likes of the Farazim Noble, the Farazim Swordmasters over there will toast even the Great Temple Guard. With an armor upgrade, the Temple Guard have an armor upgrade here. Or Temple Executioners, yes, they've even got an armor upgrade, which is making them even better. Even more impressive than they already are. Snag of Skirms coming to there. Warg Skirms, so even more Javelins coming into play. Looks like I thought we were going to maybe get a charge. We are. We've split up out of the formation. We're just trying to make contact. Y2K is spotting it, and he's going to try and get away. Now, the thing is, he's going to get away, and then that's going to open up these South Rhun pikes for a nice little volley from the Snag of Skirms. I'm surprised at how slowly those Warg Skirms have gotten away, but they did, and they only suffered 1 casualty. And now the Snag of Skirms... oh, they're out of ammunition, but these aren't. Because we really want to get arrow fire. I would open up with my arrows. I'm sure Y2K is probably just focused on microwing other units right now, but I would absolutely be wanting to roast and toast those South Rhun pikes right now. Those are AP pikemen, which is something that not a lot of units can say, or not a lot of factions can say they've got an AP pike. And it's something that really helps Harad stand out and go toe-to-toe with a lot of very organised front lines. Greenway Garrison footmen engaging now, doing what they want to do, and having some good success up against this sort of lightly armoured front line, taking some arrow fire, but although they are suffering a fair bit from it, a little bit of friendly fire is coming in. You're seeing some of those burning elves in the back. They're taking those hits from the back, and those Blades of the Wood are very lightly armoured. Saying that there, yeah, so we had, what, 2 guys that went down, and we had 2 elves that went down from the attacking side. And that morale damage is going to be going on both sides. Even if you're just getting hit, you know, perhaps even it was part of the reason that those Dunman Spears, but Dunman Spears are still just a lower quality unit, so it's fair enough to see them run. Greenway Garrison Archers coming forward, just providing numbers for this front line. 8 more Troll Hunters there, and the Rhudaur Clansmen coming up. So, I'd say since this is a battle that I have done before, there's a few options. It depends generally. I think it's just going to depend how much content I have before I go. Before I leave, if I don't feel I've got too much content, then this will just be slotted in at a normal week. If perhaps toward the end, maybe, if I feel that I have quite a lot of content, then I'll just slot this in on a Wednesday. So you can know if this has come out on a Wednesday, then there will still be a video that comes out this Saturday. If this comes out on a Saturday, then it's just I've had to slot it into the general just flow. So that'll be that. I might pop in the description the previous time I did this battle, just so, yeah, I don't know, we can see if there's any big difference. So that might be in the description as well if I remember to do that. But it's very possible I don't. Olokai running riot here. Not really any AP to stop them, but doesn't really matter when you're up against Numenorians. You know, even if there's not AP, it's still just a massive attack value coming in with those blades. And the Hashari are hunting them. That's quite funny. Oh no, the Hashari are just getting pulled out. Because sometimes you want like a very skilled unit to go up against the likes of trolls. You know, that's and maybe that was the vibe there with the Hashari. Oh no, these cave trolls, I was wondering on the minimap, I was like, what the heck unit is that? That must be a unit bugged out and routing, but no, it's the cave trolls. So the cave trolls will play a very important part when the attackers do finally thrust on forward. Here are the Misty forces try to barrel on in. What are we at for 33 for 35? Right now we are ahead, but I think a big part of that is just because the amount of ammunition that has gotten poured on Tintin. This is actually a little bit shaky now. Over here, I think Tintin either. Oh, okay, he's got his rangers popping up now. I really think we need something to back him up though. But seeing that he's got a fair bit in reserve, but most of what he's got in reserve are ranged units. We either need these ranged units to start getting used, or we need something to move up to the front line. This is maybe, if I was Tintin, I would be trying to reach out to JKL and say, hey dude, if you've got anything to spare, if you've got any little units here and there, oh dang, especially with that route, we really need something. Tharbad Warhammer's coming in, just trying to provide a little bit more rigidity to this front line, but to be honest with you, I mean, if I was the attackers now, I would be coming in hard. I know we got these Troll Axe Throwers, but I would be getting an Axeman in, I would be getting at least, you know, that unit of Dumb and Spears or something. Anything. I'd really be wanting to punish this now before Cardolan or some reinforcements. The Wardens of Tyr and Gorthad are getting sent in now, so they will be able to provide. They'll be able to really sort of shore up this line. Axe is coming into the Tharbad Warhammers and the Wardens of Tyr and Gorthad. Oh shoot, we had 2 Wardens of Tyr and Gorthad. Fair enough. So that is a red limit that we've slipped into there. But yeah, no, I'm really quite surprised that the attackers are not pouncing on this harder than they are, because this could be the break, this could be the bust that they've been looking for, and they've been paying so much of their ammunition to do it. So yeah, Tintin needs support sort of as soon as possible. Lucky for him, these guys did both of these units did return from routing. I know it's not great numbers, but it's something. The demons are over here, so maybe JKL is going to be able to use those to some great effect. But still, I'd love to see, you know, a unit of Southron Pikes, or maybe even a Trollman just getting sent over. The Gobos standing down here, I thought this was a different model. I think maybe there was a part of a Serpent Guard or something like that I thought was like a face mask of a goblin. So I was a little bit confused there. Some routing Menhiriath men-at-arms unfortunately getting grabbed by the goblins. Some more sturdy plate for them to melt down and form something new out of. Beast Hunters here. Still with their javelins just ready. Taking arrow fire. If I was JKL, I'd be... I mean, you don't want it, because they're AP and melee after. But like again, there's worse things for him to be shooting at. So I'd be okay, you know. It wouldn't be my top priority to be correcting that. Especially, yeah, but they're spread out. They got a decent position there to unleash some hell later. Trollmen doing some chanting. It's nice to see chanting getting used. Sometimes it does get ignored just because it's like, oh well, no, I need all my boys fighting at all times. Now the boys over this end have been very brutal, but what do we have? Do we have anything hiding here? No. Yeah, this is about it. So we have been effective over here, but we're starting to run down. Crossbows, decent unit of Flag Rim, Gamp Rim heading up, Scion Rim, Shadow Bows, Crossbows. But that's I mean, you know, we don't have too much left. But saying that, there's not actually that much left of Numenor. So the defenders and attackers on this area have done a pretty good job of just deleting each other. And, you know, we've seen this quite a lot recently, just where one section of the battlefield ends up getting freed up. Those demons, oh, there might be 2 units of demons, unless these guys have sort of run all over the place. We're seeing here, maybe this is a big reason for the deletion. These demons engaging now, just trying to deal with the last of the Temple Executioners alongside the Fires and Swordmasters. Fires and Swordmasters versus Temple Executioners is a really nice matchup. I do quite enjoy that. Let me actually just... Oh, fuck. Oh, that's a lovely picture, Ryan. Yep, just straight into the house. We'll see if we can maybe just grab a shot of that. Just a close-up with the Fires and Swordmasters and the Temple Executioners battling it out. That's pretty good. Demons just coming in to lend their aid. Again, that's pretty sure they're AP and melee as well. Using those, whatever. I don't want to call it a javelin, really. It's more of just a staff. I don't know how you'd really describe that thing that they throw down upon their enemies. But yeah, very much when they're using it in melee, they've very much got, you know, the Darth Maul, you know, spinning blade style, I suppose. Tintin's got sharpshooters over here. Now I know that we had like a big push there, but Tintin really needs to be focusing on his end. I think if it's great to support each other. I absolutely always applaud that. But we've managed to sort of reorganize this this line. Either the boys didn't feel they were ready to punish this, or they didn't feel they acted in time, or maybe even now they've got these wardens set up there. This is all that they've got set up to hold the line now, and they've still got ammunition. This is more what I'm thinking. This is the reason that I believe they didn't push. Is just because they still had lots more ammunition to spend. Is there anything we can get in front of those wardens? No, man, there just isn't. Damn. No, they're. I'm not seeing anything to send in front of the wardens. Perhaps it's crazy. Perhaps it's a bit crazy, but what I would probably do, I would get my Menheriath Archers, just because I really appreciate wardens. I'd get my Menheriath Archers and form them up here, and I would just have them use their ammunition from stood there, because then they're taking that fire. If the enemy wants to charge me, I'll pull them back, so you're engaging then the front line of Menheriath or of wardens, because right now we're just losing all these wardens to ranged fire, and it's painful. It is a damn shame. Or I would ask JKL, do you have anything? But again, like Beast Hunters, it's like, can you give me a unit of Beast Hunters put in front of my lines? Just something to take that fire from the wardens, because I think it's going to be losing those wardens. And yeah, so now that I'm thinking of it, that's definitely the reason that the guys didn't push forward. Is just because they were like, no, we've still got stuff to throw at them. We've still got stuff to shoot at them. Like, why are we going to you'd throw our melee infantry when we can just let them reform the line and then batter it to pieces? So that's a shame, and maybe would have been a shout to have retreated at that point after they sort of regained control of the line. Because what are they at here? Almost 50%. Well, I know that they were probably a bit higher than that before, but I would have. I usually think it's perfectly fine to fall back to the final defensive line, sort of after 50% of your forces are gone. I generally, you know, I know that's a big thing in what's the map? Sorry, Thranduil's Halls is sort of the 50% rule. So you don't want to. You're not really allowed to fall back to Thranduil's Hall. Proper until the armies are down to that 50% mark, and I think we sort of are at that now. So I would have maybe fallen back so that we could have a chance to sort of reorganize and work a bit closer together. Shadowbows there, sending their arrows out, but again, you know, this is a reason not to fall back to that final point. The enemy still has got some really nasty damaging archers. Shadowbows going into the trebuchet, I would be happy with that. You can't deal damage to a trebuchet. I'm going to say that, and it's going to like die right in front of me. You can't deal damage to a trebuchet with body piercing fire. I wonder, actually, does it? Huh. Oh wow! I'm just trying to work out. Does body piercing fire pierce a trebuchet? No, I don't think so. No, it looks like the trebuchets are able to absorb the body piercing, which is quite nice. But yeah, we're still suffering some losses there. But I'd be happy enough with that if I was taking those hits to the treb. I think that's nice if you can just absorb that damage. YTK is again doing a good job, just showing his patience. Which with something like Misty, you know, it's very easy to be impatient when you're playing as Misty, because they're designed around this sort of like get stuck in. And I mean, you've got the numbers to do that for a good bit, but when you're attacking totally by yourself, you need that patience. You need to be careful. And yeah, so he is showing his resistance to that. That's nice. To those urges, those silly urges. Yeah, Minhirath Arch is being moved up now, but it's just too late. You know, there's nothing to protect anymore, really. Is there more to throw? Oh, Staff Master's coming forward. Armored up Staff Masters, so still very low armor. You know, what keeps them alive is their defensive skill. So now this is what we were looking for. And we've even had the Snow Trolls coming in. This is good, you know. Y2K has seen that he's not really got a good opportunity to use his trolls, so sending them on over here. I'm pretty sure Snow Trolls are like some of the fastest trolls in the game. But yeah, just coming forward trying to smash through this line. There's nothing that can... This is going to barrel right through. Now that the Warrens of Tyr and Gorthad are just about gone. Warhammers, yeah, captains coming in. Okay, right. So these great elite units coming in, these Dunedain forces, and just the well-armed men of the West jumping forward to sort of hack and slash away. Yeah, those Snow Trolls are not going to love fighting the Dunedain captains. Snow Trolls not really very armoured up. Not poorly armoured, but not very armoured up. So yeah, something like a skilled sword master is going to be too much for them. Must be 2 demons. So there's definitely 2 units of demons. JK had one over here, and then he had one backing up the Numenorians as well. So that was his way of lending aid to the sides. Tharbad Warhammers trying their best. You know, well, they'll be smashing the Dunman spears. Fraudrum jabs, they've been saved. So one of the most powerful units of javelins right now. Getting pulled around, and if they get some shots into the Tharbad Warhammers, that is going to be absolutely horrendous. Really will be bad. Locked morale javelin fighters there, very, you know, nice sort of berserkers, and when they get into melee with those, you know, two-handed clubs. What are we going for here? AP clubs, of course. Going into the demons, so we're trying to out-javelin the Javelin Kings. Yeah, and you're seeing, this is good. This is really good from Y2K. Just keeping those trolls on the demons. Just chasing them around. This is something that Snow Trolls, as I say, because they're a bit faster, this is something they're really good at. So JKL is, you know, he's tried to back this up. He's tried to help out his friends, but he just has not been able to. So he's just going to have to get back now. And all the while, like, he's focusing on microing those demons. We're just staring down. Yeah, because we're seeing right now Y2K is microing the trolls. JKL is microing the demons, just chasing each other around. So that is just a stare down still. This over here is another stare down, but this is more of a stare down because there's not really that much left to come up. Rhun still has enough for one last push. Shadowbow's over here. What are we coming into? It's nice to... Oh! 15 guys. No. Well, maybe one more volley. We'll see. They're not going to be able to break... Well, not break. They're not going to be able to get both of them down, but maybe one of them... Nah, surely not. I think that trebuchet is going to get out of there, but it's nice for him to try and hunt it down, because that treb in the late game is... Well, that treb at any point in the game is going to be very difficult to deal with. So Cardolan's setting up his last line of defense here. He is blasting out with his crossbow fire into whatever he can really get hold of. The Cave Trolls again coming over here, but once again, Cave Trolls are not going to enjoy fighting the Dunedain captains. Tharbad Warhammer still engaging here, but the Dunman Spears are, I mean, they're going to die in droves, and the Axemen are going to really struggle against the Tharbad Warhammers as well. Dunman Pikes is nice to see. Frodrum jabs getting, you know, thrown into melee here, but they'll actually do an okay job at fighting the likes of the Dunedain captains. They'll lose to them one-on-one, but you know they'll do their best, and they will certainly hurt them. Dunman pikes could come up and just sort of start to really poke and prod at those elites, get them finished. But the riders are inside now. We need a full retreat now. Snow trolls are through. Yeah, Duran is pulling back as quick as he can. Over here, Harad. Harad is running, but he's going to be getting chased by the wargs. Oh no! I think these guys have ammo. This would be absolute priority number one for me. Those skirms, they've got their blades out, so this will be a nasty charge. 93, and that's 2 units off them as well. So 93 before contact. Down to 81. We need, and the thing is, Tindon's got, like, he's got to make this decision fast, what he wants to do here. Does he want to just let them fight it out, or does he want to keep trying to run? The problem with just keep trying to run is you need something else that's going to be able to take this attention away from you. Another charge there. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's very, very upsetting, because that was... I don't know how much ammunition they maybe had left. They were being used over there. It looks like they were being used over there. They were making their way over to this way, and they were just in the worst possible position when the final retreat started. And they just had a long run to get back to anything. But Numenor's still got a few scraps left. Actually, no, a bit more left over than I thought. Those Fires and Swordmasters, some of them still look non-bloodied, so they should be able to do some good work. Cardolan is pretty busted up, but it's really going to be JKL that is the final defender, it looks like. And that Mangonel has not been used. That Mangonel is still fresh, so we still have a lot of these big explosive barrels coming in. Rhudaur's saved. Oh, we've got Blackwolds on the field. Very nice. I like Blackwolds a lot. The Rhudaur Axemen there too. We've still got a lot of very powerful boys. Enslavers, of course. We spotted them at the start. It's going to be messy. It's going to be messy. But we still have Demon's Fire. We still have a lot of AP and so on from Cardolan. We've got Minheriath archers here and mixed in with Rangers, ready to just soak up any more javelin fire that the boys might have to come at them. If it was me, I'd maybe even have my Rangers sort of back a little bit. And, oh no, that's not what we want to see. We don't want to see those gatekeepers out of ammunition. I'd maybe want to have my Rangers back a little bit, just so that when the enemy starts to unleash fire, it's just hitting those armoured up Minheriath archers. And then I would send the Rangers running on in there after. But it's not really too big a difference anyway. Now this situation is a bit dicey. We've not been able to get troops set up on this defence. We can see that those poor sharpshooters were just blitzed. Just the wargs were too much for them. And I think they were mostly brought down. I'm just wondering if any of them got out. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, no, but that access point has been left open. Now Y2K is through with the skirms. The Riders of the Golden Wood are through, and just coming in for slam after slam into these South Rhun archers. Now, yes, they're still going to be able to use their ammunition, but maybe not. They might end up breaking. But either way, that's just those are numbers. Those are just numbers which we need. Toward the end of a siege, you know, it can come down to very, very few men. Sometimes, yeah, as little as sort of 20 guys still standing. So that's those sorts of moments are really where just a handful of South Rhun archers could be the game changer. So we need something to stop this wild display here. But it looks like, yeah, JKL is now set up nicely. We got these skirmishers running. Now, what would be a win, what could turn that very, very sad loss into something pretty damn good, is just if we were able to grab those riders and take them out, make sure that they didn't escape. So Joris is kind of off It looks like Joris is, he knows that he can't get them out there, so he's just going to take every single charge he can. Because they're such a high quality unit, because they're so fast, they don't need much distance to build up that charge. And they don't have a lance at all anyway, so they really are just relying on that the weight of their mounts and their standard melee skill, melee attack, just to get through. So it's, dearie me. So they're still doing okay, and they're being hunted, being shot at. Over here, Duran getting ready to bring down the last of his foes. The shield guard here could maybe be rushed over there to deal with the Riders of the Golden Wood, because they're dealing a few more little charges here and there. But I think Joris is very much just like they're gone now. At this point, they're finished. Let's just get the absolute most out of them that I can, and this should be them finished now. They're so fast though, so maybe that was another little. We even got a little charge action there. More Southron archers going down. Oh, they even slept through. Okay, right. Poison arrow damage, everything, just a little bit too much, and they've finally broken. So they've been effective there. They've been very effective there, and it's made definitely left JKL in a little bit of a dicier situation than he was before. Treb is ready to go. What do we have here? Trolls slamming into these archers, these rangers, a few surviving warhammers. Those warhammers will love to go toe-to-toe with those cave trolls. Their AP maybe being a little bit overkill up against those very light cave trolls, but at least they'll, yeah, it's not going to be too much of a worry. They'll batter them down all the same. Coming through now into the Minotaur Gatekeepers. Yeah, that's once again quite a nice little engagement for the Gatekeepers. They'll enjoy that fight. What do we have? Flagrim, Shadowbows. These are the Adunheim. Wait, both sides Adunheim Shadowbows clashing. Nice. Another sort of great Numenorian versus Numenorian clash. I like that. So the gold, because you got the gold from the Numenorian ones and the silver from the Mordor ones. That's really, I like that a lot. Because you can, if you play on specials with the special mode on, Numenor actually gets a lot of these dark Numenorian units. So they get the Temple Executioners. Actually, shoot, I don't actually know what else they get. They get the Temple Guard. I'm trying to think if they get anything else. But their Temple Executioners are gold and armoured. I really quite like that. I think it's a cool thing that we can do, and I'm surprised that we don't see a bit more of that in like these sort of lore focused fights and scenarios where you can get, you know, we could have like a dark Numenor focused list, you know, where like when I try and do like a good versus evil fight, because I like good versus evil. It's nice. Not even, you know, we don't need you know, a hyper careful scenario, but like it's nice to do a good versus evil fight when I play. So Numenor for me is always like a neutral faction. It can jump into the good side or the evil side. And I mean, arguably the same with a few of the evil men. I've got no issue with somebody playing. If we've got, oh, that's a nasty break for Y2K. These guys, and they had javelins. That's a stinger. Maybe it's just the fear-causing troll men, and just I think he was probably just trying to run them over here, but or maybe get them behind or something. But either way, that's a nasty break. It's not a game ender for Y2K, but I'm sure he'll be a bit upset about that. Even if they only really had one javelin throw left, that could have been, you know, it could have been like 20 kills. And at this point, yeah, or maybe even getting a quick little lob shot right into the face of the champions in Afra. Wouldn't have been too many kills, but just a good bit of damage, because those champions are going to be tough to deal with later. Really, really difficult to deal with later. Berserkers engaging with the Trollmen. That is just a clash of the behemoths. The Trollmen are going to be coming out on top, easy peasy. But those Berserkers are going to do a bit of a number on them. Of course, their AP not really too useful up against those Trollmen. Trollmen just shunting forward. Yeah, that's quite scary. Quite scary to see, backed up by the Southron pikes too. But yeah, when it comes to like a good versus evil, I don't mind evil men being, you know, on either side, that's not a problem for me. As long as you're not, you know, yeah. Sometimes if I'm playing Rhudaur as like a good faction, for like a narrative sense, you know, I'm a big time role player. I've talked about that a lot before. So I do like to take these things somewhat seriously. I won't take the likes of the Witch Realm enslavers in my army. If I'm playing Rhudaur as like cool, like good guy Rhudaur, then I won't take enslavers because, you know, well, they're clearly, yeah, they are enslaving the land. They are the guys that are watching over. Oh, that guy just dodged. Did you see that? That guy just did not care. He just absolutely sidestepped the swinging snow troll, took out his mace, one quick little flick of his wrist, brought down the snow troll, and now he's just reloading his crossbow. I know he's probably going to dome somebody. I think he got that kill as well. I'm pretty sure that was him that took out that dumb spear. That is absolute freaking... That's some fierce Chad energy right there. I really appreciate that. Deal with the snow troll like it's nothing, and then just drop a wild man. Deary me. Okay, cool. Heavy Goblin Archer's getting sent on in now. So Y2K, say he was by himself, so he doesn't have too much left. He's got his spears left. He's got 3 units of Heavy Goblin spears. Is that all he's got? That is, by the looks of it, that's all he's got that is not engaged. I mean, he does have... Oh, Goblin King Bodyguard getting pulled back alongside the Blackback Mountain Berserkers. Okay, it's not time for them. I'm quite surprised that they, if they're getting sent in before these Heavy Goblin Spears, but Heavy Goblin Spears, they can do shield wall. So I think that's maybe why Y2K is saving them. He wants to just get them together for a shield wall push and just sort of slam through, really, really get in and bust open what's left of the line when it's ready for it. Over here, again, this gold versus silver and black is continuing. Or the silver, the camel's chosen is there as well. They'll have a bit of trouble up against those shield guard. That AP is not going to be too nice. The sentinel's incredibly impressive. 1 hit point unit. 1 man left from this Numenorian cohort. Looks like we've just jabbed down the general off Rhun. It's not going to be too nice, but we've got all that we've really got left here. The Scion Rim. Some Gamp Rim, they would have felt that a little bit, but being so close to the remaining camels chosen, they should be alright. We got these crossbowmen. I don't know, maybe I think the crossbows can hit those sentinels, can't they? Maybe risking a little bit of friendly fire, but perhaps that's worth it for the boys. You don't really want to be shooting through into the camels chosen, to be sure, but could be an option. Over here, yeah, I'm just more than happy to whittle down the last of the archers. But no, Y2K is just going to wait. He's just going to wait for his opportunity, which, as I say, being the lone attacker over there is not a bad thing. Was that a break or is that a push? That's a push. I thought because of this nice little burn there, might have been a break. We're not seeing any of our sharpshooters, so I think our hero is dead, unfortunately. Fires some swordmasters coming over to back them up. Which, yeah, these Rhudaur clans were doing a little shield wall push there, just trying to shunt these guys back, but not being able to break through, and especially not being able to break through the swordmasters. But having this height advantage with the Treb, he's going to be able to just get some nice slam dunks, which he's going to have to be pretty liberal with his ammunition. You know, really just get that used, because the enemy is going to break through at some point soon. That mangonel, down to 1 mangonel. The other one probably destroyed by the Treb, and that's why he's keeping this hidden. But I mean, I quite like to get taken down to 1 artillery piece, just because it makes so much easier to maneuver. You know, you don't have to worry, because it's a very wide, especially when you've got like 3 catapults. It's so difficult to maneuver them. Whereas then you get taken down to 1 catapult or 1 mangonel, and yeah, the spaces just open up to you. Because yeah, and even if you lose a few of your guys, it's a bit of a shame, but dude, yeah, you're able to really just make the most of various positions. Now, because Y2K is holding back, that's allowed JKL to send not 1 but 2 units of Champions in Afarat. Is that 2 units of Champions in Afarat? I think they were charging in separately. It's 63, and that looks like more than 63 boys. That's going to be very tough to get through, even with the likes of the Lornan Swordmasters. Axemen coming slamming on into that. That's not going to be a fun day for the Rhudaur Axemen. They are definitely not going to enjoy that at all. but your gatekeeper's holding the line. We push through, and Southron archers, if they've got anything left, any ammunition left, yeah, then you can blast that, most likely. Hishari Stalker's still around, and the Hishari Shadows too. Demons being pulled back. It looks like JKL is maybe... he's going to let them have that ground, and he's going to block them up here, which I get for sure, but I mean, it's such a... you're not really worried about any range damage coming at you, so and that's such a steep slope where you just get... because this fight is just going to be a bit of fanaticism. It's just going to be like crazy. Crazy, like just heaps of spears, lots of elites, just clashing and trying to push through each other. Or maybe it's not. I think JKL is maybe just going to start feeding them. He's realised that that JKL is, or well, Y2A is going to start moving some troops in, because he's realised that JKL is sort of ignoring him now, and he's sent over these elites that were watching out for him. These elites are now coming over this way. Is that because I didn't actually see those, where those like Goblin King Bodyguard and Blackback Mountain Berserkers, I didn't see where they went. Are they tucked in over... oh, no. That's because they have come over here. Goblin King Bodyguard is here. I don't quite know where the Berserkers are, but perhaps they're going to be moving to engage. Oh, they're already engaging. Yeah, so that's why AJKL has sent some troops here, there, and everywhere, because he's realised these elites have come on over. So yeah, cracking on down, the last of the Numenorians here, just going to be doing their best, but up against the Blackbacks, Elven Sword Masters, it's going to be a bit tricky. Looks like the Steel Bows are going to get pulled back by Duran. Again, just probably to this sort of position, getting ready for the final stand sort of situation. We've still got 9,000 frames, so the boys have still got a little holding to do, to be sure. That was Smarrow Fire, or was that was Beast Hunter Javs? I see. Getting sent up and over. Hishari Shadows, again, at such a small unit size, you can really position these guys wherever you want. And you can be very liberal with their ammo. Oh, that's quite a nice sizable unit of Dismounted Serpent Guard chasing away the Rhudaur Swordsman. And getting a good break from that Rhudaur Clansman too. I know it's only 27, but that's still quite impressive. Pikes moving forward, going to be a little bit intimidated by all the friendly forces that they're marching through. But at this late stage, pikes are always appreciated. But that body piercing is a rip into them. Well, we got Trebs. Trebs over here now. Or, I'm wondering, is he moving the Treb over to try and hunt down the Mangonel? But no, it looks like because he's done this, Y2K is going to move his Mangonel out. Because he needs to start trying to use that. For sure. And even if he's not really able to pick the best targets in the world, if he can just get this, get these things sent up and over, it could be worth a ton. Now let me just grab another wee slurp of tea. Yeah. No, so it looks like Y2K is he's not coming for the glorious push. He's just sent this unit in to try and tie those guys up. And the last two are actually going to be coming over here where there is... Are they running? They are running. Being tired doesn't affect massive. It doesn't affect you too much in Medieval 2. Oh, that is the Cardolan general taken down by elves and wild men. It doesn't affect you drastically, but it does affect you. So it's something you should try to avoid, but it's not... If you've got to be somewhere and you're going to have to run to get there in time, then yeah, do that. One thing that I don't love about Medieval 2, there's not a lot. You know, of course, by the amount I play it, Medieval 2 is of course the best for me. Medieval 2 is the best experience. Issues, of course, with the age of the game and everything like that. A lot of things that the newer Total Wars just make so much more friendly to my life. But in general, yeah, Medieval 2 is topper. One thing that I don't love though is just how long it takes to get your fatigue back. You know, that's something that I do kind of like about the newer Total War games sometimes, is if I remove something from the fight and have it sit there for, you know, 5 minutes which that's quite a difficult thing to achieve, you know, but if I pull something out and have it sit there for 5 minutes, it's going to get its energy back, and then I can send it back in. Maybe not all the way, but a bit. Whereas in Medieval 2, if a unit hits exhaustion, and you get it back out, and you can have it sitting there for like half the game, it's still going to be very, very tired. But no, it's tough to get it back. But maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe that's just part of the exhausted, because I've seen units come back from like winded to fresh pretty damn quickly. Or tired to fresh pretty quickly. Maybe that's just something about being exhausted that is like a bit different. What was that? There was a little flash move from that staff master, I'm sure. Those Ashari shadows taking a bit of fire. Oh no, I thought maybe. What do we have here? Is this just... It's just a beefy unit of Rhudaur swords, but that's where the general is. So he wants to keep that a bit safe. That's probably going to be the last thing that gets sent in, but as I say, toward the end of the game, that could be a real winner. Just a lot of Rhudaur swordsmen. Little splash. Okay, good few sword masters brought down there. No friendly fire is always is what you're wanting to see. Some of these troll men, doesn't really matter, they're locked morale, they're going to be okay. That's the general from Y2K amongst the general's bodyguard, working his way forward, ready to hack and slash through whatever, whatever troll men are standing in his way, alongside the Blackback Mountain Berserkers. Serpent's Fangs, trying to get their ammunition used up by the looks of things. But those swordmasters are going to grind through them, unless they really want to fight back. If they do pull out their long sort of two-handed swords, I can't quite remember what you call it. It's like, I'm thinking like it's like it's not like a quash or something like. It's definitely not a quash. It's something with a Q. What is this big curved blade called again? But yeah, it's almost a glaive actually. What these guys have, but it is just sort of a two-handed sword. So they'll now that they've pulled that out, they should be able to beat this unit off Lorehan Swordmasters without too much of a problem, outnumbering them as much as they do. Beast Hunters standing their ground here, ready to send out their javelins into whatever manages to break through the Swordmasters and Serpent Guard. Oh, that was a mangonel shot just going wide. Mangonel, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe the mangonel is notoriously inaccurate. It's I love the way that it just it does sort of flop down really quite nicely there. And then yeah, I just love they throw these big ass barrels. It's not a nice stone null. It's just we've got an explosive barrel. Go. And yeah, like I know it's really small, but it looks cool to see it through the air. It just looks different. You know that it is something unusual. 8 of them left, so all it's going to take is 3 dead now, and we've lost one of these trebuchets. But well, not trolls, the goblins are in there wanting to hunt this down, and this will be taken by this point. So losing the treb's a damn shame for the defenders. What do we got, really, that is still... Oh, watch the Golden Wood are through. Still a defensive line here. As long as this doesn't get interrupted, looks like everything that's pushed through is pushing right through to the centre. If these guys manage to hold, and they don't break, then... Oh, Heavy Goblin Spear's broken. Good stuff. Okay, I feel a sneeze coming. So I'm probably going to go quiet for a quick second at some point. But that's alright, it's coming later. We need to grab everything here and make its way over, because there's nothing more coming up that way. These Watchers are through, so backstabbing the Serpent's Fangs, as I say, they're enjoying that fight right now. They are a very powerful unit. This is where I put my general in. They're not a 2 hit point unit, I don't believe. Pretty dang sure they're not a 2 hit point unit, but they are just a dang good quality archer unit. So that's where I like to have my generals. Just yeah, put them in archer units that can stand in melee. Narim are through now. Beast Hunters here, choosing their targets. Oh no, they've all still got their javelins in their hands. Over here, Champions of Nafrat still just grinding through these Rhudaur swordsmen. This must be the general's unit. He's mixed in amongst here somewhere. actually doing quite well right now. I guess it's just the sheer numbers and the enslavers over there, but I would have still expected them to have a very unpleasant fight. We've got arrow... Oh, no, crossbow fire. Okay, yeah, that's kind of saving the day. The men of Rhun are allowing the Rhudaur swordsman a chance here. Again, I really love the Rhudaur swordsman model. I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's like... There's something maybe about their helmets or something. I think it's their helmets, their shields. I love their... yeah, the pauldron there just looks really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I really couldn't say what it is specifically that I like so much about the Rhudaur aesthetic. But it's just... it just fits with me. I'd say Rhudaur was the first faction that I actually, when I first started playing Reforged, Rhudaur was the first faction that I actually started to win with. I used to do a lot of 1v1s when I first started playing Reforged, and I was struggling to like find my footing, but my first victory was playing as Rhudaur, and stuck with them for a bit after that. So they really got a dang good place in my heart. Now I jump around with everything, of course, but I definitely do have my favourites. I've got my main factions. I would say for sieges, siege attacking, which is my main vibe. I tend to always attack. I don't like defending too much. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking for me. But usually, oh, that's a nasty break. That's a big break. Double break. What the heck caused that? Ay. Yeah. But no, usually say Rhudaur. I like Misty. Misty's fun to attack with. Say a good faction. I actually quite like Gondor on the attack too. Which is fun because Gondor, I feel, for the prevalence of Gondor in the lore, Gondor is not played very frequently in Reforged. And I think it's just because they're quite... They are quite standard, I guess you could say, which is that's sort of the way I want Gondor to be. I don't think Gondor needs to have any changes, but I think just people like a lot of the wild, crazy stuff of other factions, whereas Gondor, yeah, but for me, I love the Fountain Guard. That's my vibe. The Fountain Guard are the reason I play Gondor. Yeah, just you get a siege attack going. If you get your Fountain Guard into melee without them being minced by fire, you're having a good time. As long as they're not going up against something like the First Legion Pikes, you're going to have a good time with the Fountain Guard. And then the rest of the boys that you've got, everybody's just so nicely armoured, as long as you paid for that, but it's quite nice and cheap. So yeah, of course, the Harad here is no longer with us. I think we will probably just settle somewhere and go 2 times speed for a bit. Just these last champions go. So I think, yeah, JKL toward the end of that crashed out, I believe. They have brought down... Oh, that's the Numenorian general. He was in with the Farazim Swordmasters. So you can see just how long he's survived. And that's why it's quite nice to put them in with a unit that is so impressive. Because then your general benefits from those stats. But at the same time, yeah, you want to use your Farazim Swordmasters so freely. I think when it comes to something like Numenor, where you're on average, your morale is very good, I don't think I mind it. But when you're playing as something like Cardolan, I maybe wouldn't want to put my general in with the Tharbad Warhammers or Dunedain Captains, because I want to use them. Nice. Thank you, Y2K. Very good. I don't think there was any friendly fire in that hat as well. Just hit some champions in Afra, so it worked out pretty well. So I don't tend to put my general, because as Cardolan, you need your general. And if you get that morale shock at a bad time when you're playing as Cardolan, you're done. It's an absolute heartache. Is that the general? No, that is just a black wold. Is that one? That's one black wold remaining. Well done, man. Yeah, one guy just pulled through. They are multiple hit points, so they are gonna do okay for sure. But at the same time, because they've just got very little armor, they have got defensive skill, which for something in Rhudaur, is quite rare. But yeah, let's see. So this battle definitely was done before. If it was on Saturday, then yeah, this is the battle for the week. If it was on Wednesday, then there will still be a video coming out on Saturday. Hopefully, I'll get it out on Wednesday, but it is my goal just to have lots and lots of content, so that I can just go for quite a long time, you know, and the dream would be that I've still got videos coming out when I return from the boat, but I don't see that being the case. It's gonna be too long. It's gonna be a bit too long, I think. But hey, we can dream. We can dream. What do we still have fighting here? What's our last boys? Some getting knocked around. I didn't actually see what that guy was. Could be in a Serpent's Fang, most likely. Yeah. Serpent's Fangs. They were standing. They were standing real well. So let's have a quick look through. Anything absolutely crazy? Those Goblin infantry just doing their part. These goblins getting shot to pieces. So that's good. Good to see. I think that was kind of Hashari knives, maybe. I don't know. Snag Skirms doing their bit, of course. Not actually racking up that many. Well, 98 is pretty good. 98 is pretty good for the Snag Skirms. Archers there. And the wargs. Of course, those warg. I really like, as we've seen in quite a recent fight, it's good to bring some sort of cavalry when you're attacking, especially when you're in, there's an open field out there. You need to have something that you can at least chase down enemy knights or lancers with, or horse archers, as the case may be, and at least then warg skirms. If the enemy doesn't send something out, it's like, okay, yeah, cool. I can come in with my javelins. That's why I absolutely adore the Coldfell Maidens to take when I'm playing as Rhudaur, because if the enemy brings some sort of cavalry, great, I'll send the Coldfell Maidens, I'll javelin them down, or I'll spear them down because they have got an anti-cavalry bonus. But if the enemy doesn't bring anything, cool, I'll just use my javelins against the enemy front line, you know, and then muck about with some fast-moving cavalry later. So yeah, I talked about this battle before, of course, so it was pretty dang good. I think poor Tintin just taking so many javelins. Duran, oh Jesus, Duran absolutely rinsing. But I think, yeah, you can see Mark just super duper elite, almost just a few numbers than, just a few more boys than Joris, as with his Lothlorien elves, which are high quality elves, you know. But to be honest, Joris did bring some militia today, but yeah, all in all, a lot of fun. So thank you guys very much, and I will see you later.